Lily was a small girl with big, kind eyes. Her clothes were old and patched, but her heart was as bright as the summer sun. Every day she sat on the corner of a busy street holding out a small, worn cup. She wasn't asking for much, just enough to buy a little food to keep her going. Life wasn't easy for Lily. She lived in a tiny, cramped room with her mother, who worked hard but still struggled to make ends meet. Lily knew that every coin she collected helped her mother put food on the table. Despite her own hardships, Lily always had a smile for everyone who passed by. She believed that even the smallest act of kindness could make a big difference in someone's day. She treated everyone with respect, whether they gave her money or simply walked past. She understood what it meant to struggle, so she made sure to never judge anyone. Her gentle nature and honest eyes shone through, making her a memorable figure on the busy street corner. She was a beacon of hope in a world that often felt cold and uncaring. Lily's corner was always the same. It was at the intersection of two busy streets, right next to a bakery that smelled of warm bread and sweet pastries. The aroma was a constant temptation, but Lily never complained. She knew she couldn't afford such luxuries. Instead, she focused on the people passing by, offering a gentle good morning or good afternoon to each one. She always made sure to keep her space clean. Even though it was just a small patch of sidewalk, she swept away any litter and arranged her few belongings neatly. Her honesty shone through in everything she did. She never tried to trick or deceive anyone, always offering a sincere smile and a polite request for help. People noticed her honesty. Some would drop extra coins in her cup, commenting on her sweet nature. Others would simply smile back, their faces brightening at her genuine kindness. Even on the coldest days, Lily's corner felt warm and welcoming, a testament to the goodness that radiated from her. It was a small space, but it was her space, and she made it a little brighter for everyone who passed by. One sunny afternoon, as Lily sat quietly by her corner, a strange sight caught her eye. An elderly man, dressed in a fine suit that looked expensive and well-made, was walking slowly towards her. He seemed lost and confused, his brow furrowed with worry. His clothes were immaculate, but his face showed a deep bewilderment. He paused near Lily's corner, his eyes darting around as if he didn't recognize anything. He clutched a silver-handled cane tightly, his knuckles white. He looked out of place amidst the bustling street, like a character who had wandered out of a storybook and into the real world. Lily watched him with concern. She could tell that something was wrong. Unlike the other passers-by who hurried along, seemingly oblivious to her presence, this man seemed genuinely troubled. His elegant attire and lost expression created a stark contrast to the everyday hustle and bustle, immediately drawing Lily's attention and sparking her innate desire to help. She wondered if he needed assistance, and her kind heart urged her to offer it. The old man sighed deeply, his shoulders slumping. He looked down at Lily, his eyes filled with a profound sense of disorientation. I don't know where I am," he mumbled, his voice trembling slightly. "I can't seem to remember where I live." He patted his pockets, searching for something, but came up empty. "My wallet. I think I left it at home," he said, his voice laced with panic. "Or perhaps I lost it. I simply can't recall." Lily's heart went out to him. She could see the fear in his eyes, the confusion clouding his mind. He seemed so vulnerable and alone. "It's okay, sir," she said gently, her voice soft and reassuring. "I'm here to help. Don't worry, we'll figure it out." She understood what it was like to feel lost and helpless, and she knew she couldn't just stand by and watch him struggle. She had to do something. She was determined to help this kind old man find his way back home, even if she didn't know where that was. Without hesitation, Lily reached into her worn cup. She carefully counted out the few coins she had collected that day, her meager earnings, the money she desperately needed for her mother and herself. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. "Here, sir," she said, holding out the coins to him. "Please take this. You can buy yourself some water. It's a hot day and you must be thirsty." The old man looked at the coins in her outstretched hand, his eyes widening in surprise. He couldn't believe that this little girl, who clearly had so little, was offering to share what she had with him. He was touched by her generosity, her selfless act of kindness. But what about you?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Lily smiled. "I'll be okay," she said. "Helping you is more important." She knew her mother wouldn't mind. Her mother always said that helping others was the right thing to do, even when you had very little yourself. The old man hesitated for a moment, then gently took the coins from her hand, his heart filled with gratitude. After the old man bought some water from a nearby vendor, Lily suggested they go to the park. It's quieter there, sir, she explained. Maybe you'll be able to think more clearly. The park was just a short walk away, a small green oasis amidst the concrete jungle. She gently guided him to a bench under the shade of a large oak tree. Now, sir, she said, sitting beside him, can you remember anything at all? Any street names? Any landmarks? The old man closed his eyes, concentrating hard. He furrowed his brow, struggling to grasp at any memory. I remember a garden, he said finally, his voice strained. A garden with roses. Many, many roses. That's good, sir, Lily exclaimed encouragingly. Roses? What color were they? She hoped that by prompting him with specific questions, she could unlock more of his memories and help him find his way back home. She continued to ask gentle questions, patiently piecing together the fragments of his memory. Even small details could be important. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the park. Hours had passed, and Lily remained steadfastly by the old man's side. She didn't complain or become impatient, even though she was missing out on her usual begging time. Her mother would be worried, but Lily knew she was doing the right thing. Sometimes, the old man would drift into silence. His eyes glazed over with confusion. Lily would gently take his hand, offering a comforting squeeze. It's okay, sir, she would say softly. Just take your time. We'll get there. She shared stories about her day, about the funny things she had seen on the street, hoping to spark a memory or simply provide a distraction from his anxiety. She even sang him a few of her favorite songs, her sweet voice filling the air with a sense of peace. Despite the lack of progress, Lily never gave up hope. She knew that even the smallest act of kindness could make a big difference, and she was determined to provide the old man with the comfort and support he needed until he could remember where he belonged. Her patience was unwavering, her compassion boundless. Suddenly, the old man's eyes widened. A flicker of recognition sparked within them. He sat up straighter, his hand trembling as he reached out to grasp Lily's arm. "The lion!" he exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. "I remember the lion." Lily looked at him, puzzled. "The lion, sir?" she asked. "Yes," he said, his memory slowly returning. "Our family crest. It's a golden lion standing on its hind legs. It's on everything, the gates, the silverware, even the doorknobs." He closed his eyes again, concentrating. "A golden lion," he repeated as if trying to solidify the image in his mind. This was the most he had remembered all day. This single detail, the image of the golden lion, seemed to be a key unlocking the door to his lost memories. He clung to it, hoping that it would lead him back home. The golden lion was now their guiding star. Lily's eyes widened in recognition. She had seen the crest before. She remembered flipping through a tattered historical book at the local library, a book about the prominent families of the city. And there it was, a golden lion standing proudly on its hind legs. "The Lionheart family!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. "That's the Lionheart family crest." The Lionheart family was one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the city. They owned vast estates and contributed generously to local charities. Lily had only ever seen pictures of their mansion, a sprawling estate on the outskirts of town. Could this lost old man be a Lionheart? It seemed impossible, yet the crest was undeniable. If he was, it meant he was not only lost but also incredibly important. This realization filled Lily with a renewed sense of purpose. She knew she had to get him back to his family. This was bigger than she ever imagined. "I know where the Lionheart mansion is, sir," Lily said, her voice filled with determination. "It's a long walk, but I can take you there." The old man looked at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Are you sure, my dear? It's quite a distance." "Yes, sir," Lily replied firmly. "I want to help you get home." And so they began their journey. Lily carefully guided the old man through the streets, making sure he didn't stumble. The Lionheart mansion was located on the outskirts of town, a considerable distance from the park. The walk was tiring, especially for the old man who was already weak and disoriented. Lily walked slowly, adjusting her pace to match his. She offered him encouragement and support every step of the way. As they walked, Lily couldn't help but wonder what awaited them at the mansion. Would the Lionheart family be grateful for her help? Would they even believe her story? She pushed her doubts aside, focusing on the task at hand, getting the old man safely back to his family. The Lionheart mansion was their destination. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, they reached their destination. Towering wrought iron gates stood before them, adorned with, what else? Golden lions. Beyond the gates, a long, winding driveway led to an enormous mansion that seemed to stretch on forever. The Lionheart estate was even more impressive than Lily had imagined. Both Lily and the old man were exhausted. The long walk had taken its toll and they stood panting before the gates, their legs aching. The old man leaned heavily on his cane, his face pale with fatigue. The sheer size and grandeur of the estate were intimidating. Lily, dressed in her worn clothes, suddenly felt very small and insignificant. She wondered if she would even be allowed past the gates. But she knew she had come too far to turn back now. She had to see this through. She had to get the old man home. She gently squeezed his hand, offering him a reassuring smile. "We're here, sir," she said. "We made it." The impressive gates seemed to guard a different world. Two stern-faced guards emerged from the gatehouse, their eyes narrowing as they took in the sight of Lily and the old man. They were tall and imposing, their uniforms crisp and immaculate. "Can we help you?" one of the guards asked, his voice cold and formal. Lily stepped forward, trying to appear brave despite her nervousness. "We need to speak to someone in the Lionheart family," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "This gentleman is lost and I believe he belongs here." The guards exchanged skeptical glances. They clearly doubted her story. "And who are you, little girl?" one of them asked, his tone condescending. "And what makes you think he belongs here?" Lily could feel their disbelief. She knew that her appearance, her worn clothes, and her status as a beggar made her story seem unlikely. But she wasn't going to give up. She knew the truth and she was determined to make them listen. The guards looked very suspicious. Taking a deep breath, Lily stood tall and spoke clearly. "He doesn't remember much," she said, "but he remembers the family crest. It's a golden lion, standing on its hind legs with a crown on its head. It's not just a drawing, it looks like it's made of real gold. He said it's on the gates, the silverware, even the doorknobs." The guards exchanged another look, this time with a hint of surprise. The level of detail Lily provided was unexpected. They knew the family crest intimately and her description was accurate. "How would you know that?" one of the guards asked, his voice less harsh than before. "I saw it in a book," Lily explained. "A book about the history of the city. I remembered it when he told me." The guards hesitated. They still weren't entirely convinced, but Lily's knowledge of the crest gave them pause. Finally, one of them spoke. "Wait here," he said. "I'll call Mr. Davies, the head of security. He'll know what to do." They were beginning to believe her. A few tense minutes passed before a tall, imposing man strode out of the gatehouse. This was Mr. Davies, the head of security. He studied the old man carefully, his eyes scanning every detail of his face and clothing. Suddenly, his eyes widened in recognition. "Mr. Lionheart," he exclaimed, his voice filled with relief. "It's really you. We've been searching everywhere. You've been missing since this morning." He turned to the other guards, his face etched with concern. "Get him inside immediately. And alert the family." Mr. Davies then turned to Lily, his expression softening. "Thank you, young lady," he said, his voice sincere. "You have no idea how grateful we are. Mr. Lionheart wandered off this morning and we were terribly worried." He was very relieved to see him safe. Before Lily could fully absorb what was happening, the heavy front doors of the mansion swung open and a group of people rushed out. They were Mr. Lionheart's family, his wife, his children, and his grandchildren. Their faces were etched with worry, but as soon as they saw him, their expressions transformed into pure joy. They ran towards him, embracing him tightly, tears streaming down their faces. "Father! Grandpa! You're safe," they cried, their voices filled with relief. They showered him with kisses and hugs, their gratitude palpable. They had been so worried, fearing the worst. Lily watched the reunion with a warm feeling in her heart. She was so happy that she had been able to help reunite this family. It was a beautiful sight to behold, a testament to the power of kindness and compassion. She felt a sense of accomplishment. She had done a good thing. The family was so relieved to have him back. Once the initial excitement had subsided, Mr. Lionheart turned to his family, his eyes filled with warmth and gratitude. "This young lady," he said, gesturing towards Lily, "is the reason I'm standing here today. I was lost and confused and she took the time to help me. She gave me her own money for water and she led me all the way here." He went on to describe Lily's kindness and unwavering assistance, emphasizing her patience, compassion, and selflessness. He told them how she had stayed with him for hours, offering comfort and support, and how she had recognized the family crest, leading them to the mansion. His family listened intently, their faces filled with admiration for Lily. They were amazed by her generosity and her willingness to help a stranger in need. They realized that she had gone above and beyond, sacrificing her own time and resources to ensure his safety. They felt grateful to her. Just then, a convoy of cars approached the mansion gates. Four sleek, black luxury cars pulled up to the entrance, their engines purring softly. More Lionheart family members emerged from the vehicles, alerted to the good news of Mr. Lionheart's safe return. They had been out searching for him, their worry growing with each passing hour. When they received the call that he had been found, they rushed back to the mansion as quickly as possible. They joined the reunion, adding to the outpouring of love and relief. The atmosphere was filled with joy and gratitude. The family was complete once again, thanks to the kindness of a little beggar girl. They were all very thankful. They were ready to thank Lily. The cars were very fancy. The Lionheart family turned their attention to Lily, their faces filled with sincere gratitude. They surrounded her, showering her with praise and thanks. "You are an angel," Mr. Lionheart's wife said, her voice choked with emotion. "You saved my husband's life. We can never repay you for your kindness." "We were so worried," one of his daughters said, hugging Lily tightly. "We didn't know what had happened to him." "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The grandchildren gathered around her, their eyes wide with admiration. "You're a hero," one of them exclaimed. "You're the best." The Lionheart family was overwhelmed by Lily's selfless act. They couldn't imagine what would have happened if she hadn't been there to help Mr. Lionheart. They knew they owed her an immense debt of gratitude, a debt they were eager to repay. They wanted to show her how much they appreciated her. Mr. Lionheart stepped forward, his eyes twinkling with warmth. "My dear Lily," he said, taking her hand in his, "you have given us the greatest gift imaginable. I insist on rewarding you for your kindness." He turned to his family, his voice firm. "We must offer Lily and her family a home and financial security. It's the least we can do." His family nodded in agreement, eager to show their appreciation. They knew that no amount of money could ever truly repay Lily for what she had done, but they wanted to ensure that she and her mother never had to struggle again. They were ready to offer her a better life. Mr. Lionheart looked back at Lily, his expression earnest. "We want to provide you with a comfortable home and ensure that you have everything you need. You deserve it." He smiled kindly at her. He was very grateful. Lily hesitated. She had never imagined receiving such an offer. A part of her longed for a comfortable home and a life free from worry, but another part of her felt uneasy about accepting such a grand gesture. I don't know what to say," she stammered, her cheeks flushed. "It's very generous, but—" She paused, gathering her thoughts. "I would be grateful for the help," she continued, "but only if I can still help others in need. I don't want to just live a life of luxury while other people are still struggling." She looked at Mr. Lionheart, her eyes pleading. "If you're going to help me, please let me use some of that help to make a difference in other people's lives too." She didn't want to forget where she came from. She wanted to continue helping others. This was very important to her. The Lionheart family was deeply moved by Lily's continued compassion. Her selfless desire to help others, even after receiving such a generous offer, solidified their admiration for her. "That's wonderful, Lily," Mr. Lionheart said, his eyes shining with approval. "We admire your heart. We will gladly support your philanthropic endeavors." His wife added, "We can help you set up a foundation or a charity. We have the resources and the experience to make a real difference." The rest of the family chimed in, offering their support and assistance. They were eager to help Lily achieve her goals and make a positive impact on the world. They realized that her kindness was a rare and precious gift, and they wanted to help her share it with others. They were happy to help her. They were impressed by her. Lily's life was transformed overnight. She and her mother moved into a beautiful home, and they no longer had to worry about money. She had access to the best education and opportunities. Despite her newfound wealth and privilege, Lily remained humble and grounded. She never forgot where she came from, and she never lost her compassion for others. She continued to visit her old neighborhood, offering help and support to those who were still struggling. She used her resources wisely, always seeking ways to make a positive impact on the lives of the less fortunate. She volunteered at local shelters, organized food drives, and mentored children from disadvantaged backgrounds. She was a beacon of hope in her community. She never forgot her roots. She was always helping others. With the Lionheart family's support, Lily started a charity dedicated to helping other children living in poverty. She named it Lily's Hope, a testament to the hope and kindness that had changed her own life. She used her resources wisely, focusing on providing children with access to education, nutritious meals, and safe housing. She also created programs to help them develop valuable skills and build a brighter future. Lily's Hope quickly became a success, thanks to her dedication and the Lionheart family's generous contributions. The charity helped countless children escape poverty and achieve their full potential. She was able to give them hope and a chance at a better life. She never forgot the struggles she had faced, and she was determined to make sure that other children didn't have to endure the same hardships. She was a true inspiration to her community and beyond. She was giving hope to so many. Years passed, and Lily continued her unwavering commitment to making a positive impact on her community. Lily's Hope expanded, reaching even more children and families in need. Inspired by her initial act of kindness towards Mr. Lionheart, Lily dedicated her life to helping others, proving that even the smallest act of compassion can have a profound and lasting effect. Her story became a legend, a reminder that kindness and generosity can transform lives and create a better world. Lily never forgot the lessons she had learned on the streets. She always remembered the importance of empathy, compassion, and the power of human connection. Her legacy lived on, inspiring generations to come to be kind, generous, and to always help those in need. Her story was a reminder to be kind. She helped so many people. She was an amazing person.